The truth you're not supposed to hear. What if everything you were taught about women was only part of the truth? What if the version of reality you've accepted, the soft, sweet, harmless image, was carefully designed to keep you blind? For centuries, society has painted women as gentle, pure, and innocent. But what if that picture hides something deeper, something uncomfortable, something most men are too afraid to face? Today, we're going to explore that dark side, not to spread hate, not to create conflict, but to understand. And with understanding comes freedom. This is not just another video blaming women or crying about heartbreak. This is about exposing a truth that German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer boldly spoke about in the 1800s. He saw things others ignored. He wasn't afraid to say what most men still choose not to see. He observed how easily men were controlled, not by force, but by beauty, emotion, and guilt. He saw how the illusion of love could turn strong men into weak ones, and he warned us. But very few listened. Most still don't. And that's why this message is powerful, because it's not for everyone. This message is not for the man who wants comfort. It's not for the man who wants to stay asleep. It's for the man who wants to wake up. The man who wants power, not over others, but over himself. The man who is tired of being confused, tired of being used, and ready to live with clarity. If you're that man, stay until the end. Because what you will learn in the next few minutes could forever change how you see women, relationships, and even yourself. The truth may hurt, but it will set you free. And once your eyes are open, there's no going back. Chapter 1. Who was Schopenhauer, and why should you care? Arthur Schopenhauer was not your typical philosopher. Born in 1788 in Germany, he was a man who thought deeply, spoke fearlessly, and wrote truths that made people uncomfortable. He didn't care about making people feel good. He cared about showing people the truth, no matter how dark, painful, or unpopular it was. While other philosophers talked about logic, love, or religion, Schopenhauer looked at the human soul and said, "What's really going on here?" He was not trying to comfort people. He was trying to wake them up. Now let's be clear, Schopenhauer didn't hate women. He didn't write from heartbreak or rejection. He didn't get dumped and then decide to criticize women. That's not what happened. Schopenhauer was a deep observer of life. He studied people. He watched how they acted, how they spoke, and how they changed. He studied men and women, not just on the outside, but on the inside. And what he found disturbed him. He found patterns that most men missed. He saw things that were hidden under the surface. He saw how women had the power to control men, but not with strength or force. Women controlled men through beauty, through charm, through guilt, through emotion. Schopenhauer believed that nature made women that way on purpose. Since women were usually weaker in physical strength, they needed a different kind of power to survive. So nature gave them emotional power. Schopenhauer believed that women knew how to use this power very well, even if they didn't do it consciously. It was built into their nature. He saw how men often became weak when they were in love. He saw how men would give up their dreams, their strength, even their self-respect, just to make a woman happy. And he couldn't believe how blind they were. Men, he said, fall under a spell. A beautiful face, a soft voice, a gentle smile, and suddenly the man forgets who he is. He becomes a slave, and he calls it love. That, according to Schopenhauer, was one of the most dangerous lies men believed. He wrote all of this in a bold essay titled On Women. This essay shocked people when it was published, and even now, almost 200 years later, it still makes people angry. Why? Because he didn't hold back. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He said exactly what he believed, and one of his most controversial statements was this: "Women are by nature meant to obey." Now let's stop for a moment. That line sounds harsh, maybe even offensive. In today's world, people would scream that it's sexist or outdated. But remember, Schopenhauer was not trying to hurt women. He wasn't trying to insult them. What he was trying to do was protect men. He wanted men to stop believing in fantasy. He wanted them to stop thinking that love would solve all their problems. He wanted them to see the truth about human nature before it destroyed them. Schopenhauer's main goal was not to attack women, but to teach men. He wanted men to understand the true nature of women so they would not become victims of their own blindness. In his view, a man who understands women has power, but a man who worships women will suffer. He believed that too many men were lost in the dream of romance, and because of that dream, they gave up their strength. They gave up their purpose. And once they gave those things up, they became weak and easily controlled. So, why should you care about what Schopenhauer said? Because his ideas can open your eyes. They can help you see the patterns in your own life. Maybe you've already experienced it. Maybe you've been in love with a woman who changed. Maybe you've done things you regret, spent too much, sacrificed too much, lost too much, because you were trying to please her. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. And Schopenhauer would say, it's time to wake up. This chapter is just the beginning. The truth may hurt, but the pain of truth is better than the prison of lies. When you know how things really work, you stop being a victim. You stop being fooled. You become a man who thinks clearly, acts wisely, and lives with strength. Chapter 2. The Dangerous Illusion of Beauty. Beauty is powerful. That much is clear. It can stop a man in his tracks. It can make him stare, smile, dream, and chase. From ancient times until now, beauty has had a strange control over men. A beautiful woman doesn't need to speak a single word. Her presence is enough to make men compete, argue, and even fight. But what is it about beauty that makes men lose control? Schopenhauer believed that beauty is not just about pleasure. It's biological. It's survival. In his view, men are naturally drawn to beauty because beauty signals health, youth, and fertility. When a man sees a beautiful woman, he doesn't think logically. His mind doesn't ask, is she kind? Is she wise? Will she support my purpose? His mind says, she would make strong children. Whether he wants children or not, this reaction happens deep inside the brain. It's instinct. It's nature. But here's where the danger begins. That reaction is not love. It's attraction. It's a trick that nature plays on men. Nature wants humans to reproduce, so it makes beauty feel like a dream. But once the dream fades, reality begins. And for many men, reality hurts. Schopenhauer warned that beauty is often a mask. It hides flaws, it hides manipulation, it hides coldness, selfishness, or even cruelty. But because a man is hypnotized by her beauty, he ignores the red flags. He tells himself stories. He thinks, she didn't mean that, or she'll change, or it's just a bad day. He makes excuses, and while he makes excuses, he slowly loses control. This is not to say that all beautiful women are bad. That's not the message. The message is, beauty can blind you if you're not careful. When you don't understand this, you start to believe the illusion. You start to think that beauty means goodness, that beauty means purity, that beauty means love. But it doesn't. Beauty is just a signal. It's not a promise. Have you ever noticed how quickly men change when a beautiful woman walks into the room? They sit up straighter, they talk louder, they laugh more. Suddenly they want to impress, they want to prove themselves. Why? Because they want her attention. And this is where women hold quiet power. They don't need to ask for it. Men give it freely. Schopenhauer believed that women understand this power, even if they don't talk about it. From a young age, a girl learns how to use her looks to get what she wants. She doesn't need strength. She doesn't need to fight. She can use a smile, a look, a soft voice, and the man responds. In modern society, we see this play out in social media. Think about it. A beautiful woman can post a photo and get thousands of likes in seconds. She doesn't need to say anything wise. She just has to exist. Meanwhile, men work hard for years, trying to build value and often feel ignored. Is this fair? Number? But it's real. It's how the world works. So what can you do? Should you hate beauty? Number, beauty is not the enemy. But blindness is. When you worship beauty, you fall. When you see clearly, you rise. The key is to stay grounded. Don't chase beauty, build character. Don't fall in love with her looks, learn to see her truth. Ask yourself, does she support your mission? Does she respect you? Does she challenge you to grow? A woman's beauty can be a gift or a trap. It depends on how you see it. If you are strong inside, you can admire her without losing yourself. But if you are weak, beauty becomes your master. And when beauty controls you, you stop being a man. You become a servant to illusion. Schopenhauer's message was simple but powerful. Don't be fooled. Don't let beauty blind you. Keep your eyes open. Keep your values strong. And always remember, what looks good is not always good for you. Chapter 3. The Myth of Female Innocence. From the time we are young, we are told a story. It's the story of the innocent girl, the kind-hearted woman, the gentle soul who never does wrong. In movies, in books, in fairy tales, women are shown as sweet, harmless, and pure. We are told that men are the dangerous ones, the aggressive ones, the ones who lie, cheat, and destroy. Women, on the other hand, are the victims, the quiet heroes, the emotional healers. But Schopenhauer didn't believe this story. He believed it was a lie. Not because all women are bad, but because all humans are flawed. Men and women both have dark sides. But while men show their flaws openly through anger, violence, or pride, women often hide theirs behind softness, behind emotion, behind smiles. Schopenhauer believed that women were not naturally innocent. He believed that women, like all humans, were driven by survival. And because they are physically weaker, they use other tools, emotion, manipulation, and charm, to get what they want. That doesn't make them evil. It makes them smart. It makes them strategic. But it also means that the image of pure and perfect womanhood is false. Think about it. In your life, have you ever been made to feel guilty by a woman even when you did nothing wrong? Have you ever said, "I'm sorry," just to keep the peace, even when you were not at fault? Have you ever watched a woman use tears, silence, or dramatic words to win an argument? Not with logic, but with emotion. If so, you've seen what Schopenhauer was talking about. He wrote that women are masters of emotional power. They know how to influence the feelings of others, especially men. They don't always use this power for good. Sometimes, they use it to punish, to control, or to confuse. And men, being more direct and logical, don't always see it coming. One of the biggest myths about women is that they don't lie. People say, women are honest, they speak from the heart. But Schopenhauer warned that women are capable of lying very well, not just to others, but to themselves. And often, their lies are emotional, not factual. A woman may feel something strongly and believe it's the truth, even if the facts say otherwise. For example, she may say, "You don't love me," even if you just showed love in every way. Why? Because in that moment, she feels unloved. And to her, feeling becomes truth. This is not a small problem. This is the reason why many men feel lost in relationships. They try to fix things with reason, with facts, with effort. But the woman doesn't respond to reason. She responds to emotion. If she feels bad, she believes something is wrong, even if everything is fine on the outside. Schopenhauer wanted men to understand this. You cannot win emotional games with logic. If a woman is upset and you try to explain, argue, or defend yourself with facts, you may make things worse. Because to her, you are not listening, you are not feeling, you are not understanding her world. So what do? You must learn to recognize the emotional world of women without being controlled by it. You must see through the performance, whether it's tears, silence, or anger, and respond with calm, strength, and clarity. Don't react. Observe. Don't chase her feelings. Lead with your values. Another part of the female innocence myth is the belief that women always want what is right, fair, and good. Schopenhauer disagreed. He believed that women were often more selfish, more focused on what benefits them, and less concerned with justice than men. He wrote that many women don't care about truth or fairness if it doesn't serve their needs. This might sound negative, but think about modern society. In relationships, in divorce courts, in public opinion, women are often protected without question. A woman can claim to be a victim, and the world will believe her first. A man must prove his innocence. Why? Because the myth says women are always good. But that is not true. Some women lie, some cheat, some use men, and pretending otherwise only causes more pain. Schopenhauer was not asking men to hate women. He was asking men to wake up, to stop living in fantasy, to stop worshiping an image that isn't real. When you stop believing the myth of female innocence, you don't become bitter. You become wise. You learn to love women with open eyes, not blind hope. In truth, women are human, not angels, not demons, just human. They have good and bad inside them, just like men. And when you understand that, you stop being fooled. You stop giving your power away. You begin to live with strength, respect, and wisdom. Chapter 4. Love is a trap if you don't know the rules. Love is one of the strongest emotions a person can feel. It can make a man feel powerful and weak at the same time. When a man falls in love, he often believes that this feeling will change everything for the better. He believes love will bring happiness, comfort, and meaning to his life. He wants to protect the woman he loves. He wants to give her everything. He dreams of a future together, full of trust, respect, and peace. But what if that dream is not the whole truth? What if love, as many men understand it, is actually a trap? Arthur Schopenhauer had a very different view of love. He said that love is not always about pure feelings. Instead, love is a biological tool used by nature to bring men and women together to create children. Love is a means to an end, not the end itself. This means that love has rules that most men don't understand and never learn. Schopenhauer believed that women's love is often conditional. A woman may say, "I love you," but what she often means is, "I love what you give me." She loves the attention, the protection, the gifts, and the status a man provides. It is a love based on feelings, not on unconditional support. For example, a woman may love the way a man makes her feel safe or beautiful. She may love the way he supports her financially or socially. But if the man stops providing those things, or if he changes, her love can fade. This is not because she wants to hurt the man. It is because women's love depends on how they feel in the moment. If the feelings change, the love changes too. This is very different from what many men expect. Men often believe love should last forever, no matter what. They believe love means sticking together through hard times. But Schopenhauer warned that this is not how love works naturally. Love is a strong force to bring people together, but it does not guarantee happiness or loyalty after the goal is reached. Once children are born, or once a woman feels she has gained security, her feelings may change. The love that seemed so strong before may disappear without warning. For a man who does not understand this, love can become a trap. He gives everything, his money, his time, his dreams, and waits for love to return. But love may not come back. Instead, he feels confused, hurt, and betrayed. He may ask himself, "Why did she leave? Why did she change?" And he may never find a clear answer because love is not always logical. This is why Schopenhauer said men should not make love their purpose. Love should not be the center of a man's life. Instead, a man should focus on himself, on his strength, his growth, and his truth. When a man lives with purpose, he does not fear losing love. He knows that love can come and go, but his value and mission remain. Love becomes a support, not a necessity. How can a man protect himself from this trap? First, he must understand the difference between love and feeling. Love is often confused with feeling good. When a woman feels happy or admired, she says she loves the man. But feelings are temporary. They change with moods, events, and circumstances. Real love, if it exists, comes from respect, trust, and shared values. A man should look for these qualities, not just emotions. Second, a man must set boundaries. Giving everything to love without limits is dangerous. A man should never lose himself trying to please a woman. He must keep his goals clear and not sacrifice his purpose for temporary affection. When a man respects himself, he teaches others to respect him too. Third, a man should learn to observe without becoming controlled by emotions. If a woman's feelings change, he should stay calm and confident. He should not beg or fight to keep love that is gone. Instead, he should keep moving forward, knowing that his worth is not tied to another person's feelings. Finally, a man must remember that love is a gift, not a right. No one owes love to anyone else. If love comes, cherish it. If it leaves, accept it. Don't let love become a chain that holds you back. Schopenhauer's ideas may seem harsh, but they are meant to protect men from pain. They teach men to be strong, wise, and free. When you understand that love can be a trap, you stop chasing illusions. You start building a life that no one can take away. You start living with power, respect, and true freedom. Chapter 5. The Female Weapon. Guilt. Guilt is one of the strongest tools a woman can use, whether she realizes it or not. Schopenhauer, the great philosopher who wasn't afraid to speak uncomfortable truths, called women masters of emotional manipulation. This is not about accusing women of being bad or evil. It's about understanding how emotions can become weapons in relationships. Guilt is one of those weapons. It can make a man feel responsible for things he did not do. It can trap him in a cycle of apology and confusion. It can weaken his confidence and steal his power. Have you ever felt that no matter what you do, it's never enough? That if she is unhappy, the fault must be yours? This feeling is not a coincidence. Many men experience it because women, often without meaning to, create a situation where a man feels guilty for things beyond his control. If she cries, the man feels he must fix the problem immediately, no matter how unfair or impossible that might be. If she says, "You don't understand me," the man feels like a failure, even if he has tried his best. If she threatens to leave, the man begs and pleads, thinking his love alone can save the relationship. This constant pressure of guilt can break a man's spirit. Instead of standing strong and leading with clear decisions, a man begins to lose himself. He stops trusting his own judgment. He loses the ability to say no. He becomes a slave to her feelings, always reacting, always apologizing, never taking control. Schopenhauer warned that living by a woman's emotions means losing your power as a man. When your happiness depends on avoiding her anger or sadness, you lose your freedom. But what is the cure? How can a man protect himself from this guilt trap without becoming cold or uncaring? Schopenhauer's advice is simple but difficult. Don't argue. Don't explain. Don't beg. When a woman uses guilt to control a man, trying to reason or fight back often makes things worse. Emotions do not respond to logic in the moment. Instead, stay calm. Lead with logic inside yourself, even if you don't say it out loud. Keep your mind clear and your emotions steady. If she wants to leave, let her. Your strength is not in holding on by force or fear. True strength is in letting go with dignity. You do not need to chase love that is gone. You do not need to prove yourself over and over. When you hold on tightly, you lose respect, not just from her, but from yourself. Letting go does not mean failure. It means self-respect. It means understanding that your value is not tied to anyone's emotions, including hers. Living free from guilt does not mean ignoring feelings or being unkind. It means setting boundaries. It means choosing when to engage and when to step back. It means knowing that you cannot control someone else's feelings, only your own reactions. When you stop living in fear of her emotions, you start living in your own power. This does not happen overnight. It takes practice and courage. You will feel guilty sometimes. You will want to explain yourself. But remember, the deepest respect comes from a calm, confident man who knows his worth. That man is not afraid to say no. He is not afraid to walk away. And he is not trapped by the weight of another's guilt. Schopenhauer's words are a warning and a guide. They remind you to protect your mind and heart. They remind you that guilt is a weapon, but not one you have to accept. When you understand this, you break free from the chains of manipulation. You take back control. You live with power, dignity, and peace. Chapter 6. Don't hate women. Understand them. Here is the important twist that many men miss. Arthur Schopenhauer did not hate women. In fact, he saw them clearly and honestly, without rose-colored glasses or blind loyalty. His goal was never to attack women or call them evil. Instead, Schopenhauer wanted men to understand women, fully and deeply, so that they could become free. Free from confusion, free from pain, and free from the traps that come when men expect women to behave like men. This understanding is not about hatred. It is about wisdom. Many men expect women to think like men do. They want women to argue with logic, to be honest and straightforward, to act with honor and fairness. Men often believe that conversations should be about facts and reason. They expect problems to be solved by talking clearly and finding fair solutions. But this is not how women's minds work. Women are different. They are emotional beings. They are intuitive. They see the world not through facts alone, but through feelings, relationships, and connections. This difference is the root of many misunderstandings between men and women. When a woman cries, she may not want you to fix the problem with logic. She may just want you to listen and understand her feelings. When she is silent or upset, it may not be because she is angry at you, but because she is processing her emotions. If a man tries to argue with her facts, he may only make things worse. He may feel frustrated because the conversation is not logical. But for a woman, the feelings are real and important, even more important than facts. You don't need to hate this difference. You don't need to fight it. You only need to accept it. Accepting that men and women think differently does not mean giving up your power or beliefs. It means seeing reality as it is. When you accept this truth, you stop being a victim of confusion. You stop being surprised by her behavior or emotions. You stop feeling weak or lost. Instead, you become a leader in your own life and in your relationships. You learn how to respond in ways that bring peace and respect. You learn when to listen without trying to fix, and when to speak with calm and confidence. You learn how to choose your words and actions carefully. You start to grow, not just as a man, but as a partner and a person. This understanding leads to freedom. Freedom from frustration. Freedom from anger. Freedom from hurt. It gives you the power to lead your life with clarity and strength. You will no longer be controlled by misunderstandings or emotional games. Instead, you will respond with wisdom and patience. Schopenhauer believed that the man who understands women has the greatest power. This power is not about control or domination. It is about knowledge. When you know how a woman's mind works, you are prepared. You are not caught off guard. You do not waste energy fighting battles you cannot win. You focus on what truly matters: your purpose, your growth, and your peace. So, don't hate women. Don't blame them for their differences. They are not evil. They are simply different. And those differences are natural and necessary in the balance of life. Women bring feelings and intuition that men often lack. Men bring logic and strength that women sometimes need. When you understand and accept these differences, you build better relationships, not just with women, but with everyone. Remember, the key is understanding, not judgment. When you understand, you stop blaming, you stop complaining, you stop feeling powerless. Instead, you begin to choose your path with confidence. You start to grow into the man you are meant to be, strong, wise, and free. Chapter 7. Why this matters more than ever. In today's world, the truths that Arthur Schopenhauer spoke about are more important than ever. Society is changing fast, and many men feel lost in the process. They are told to be soft, to be gentle, to avoid conflict at all costs. They are told to obey, to listen, and to always be kind. While kindness and respect are good qualities, the problem is that many men have taken these messages too far. They have given up their power. They have stopped leading their own lives, and as a result, many are suffering silently. These men don't always say it out loud. They hide their pain behind smiles and jokes. But inside, they feel confused and empty. They don't understand why their relationships fail again and again. They wonder why the woman they love suddenly becomes distant or angry. They ask themselves why they feel so tired and unimportant. They feel lost because they have lost their purpose. This loss of purpose happens because many men believe a fantasy, a story that love will fix everything, that if they just try hard enough to please, everything will be okay. But that is not true. Schopenhauer warned us that love, beauty, and emotion can blind a man. When men give their power away to these illusions, they lose themselves. They stop living for themselves and start living to make others happy. And that is a dangerous place to be. In today's culture, this fantasy is spread everywhere, in movies, in music, and even in advice from friends or family. Men are taught to put others first, to be sensitive to every feeling, and to never say no. This sounds good on the surface, but underneath, it creates a man who is weak, who cannot say no, and who fears being alone. This kind of man loses respect, from others and from himself. Schopenhauer's words serve as a warning for men living in this world. He said that if you do not understand human nature, how men and women truly behave, you will be used. You will be controlled by emotions, by manipulation, and by false hopes. You will become a slave to feelings that do not serve your best interest. This is not a world anyone wants to live in. It is a world of pain, confusion, and loss. But here is the powerful truth. If you do understand human nature, you become unstoppable. Understanding gives you strength. When you see clearly how people think and act, you stop being surprised. You stop being hurt. You stop losing yourself. You start making decisions based on truth, not illusion. This understanding does not mean you become cold or cruel. It means you become wise. You learn how to protect your heart while still loving. You learn how to build strong relationships based on respect and truth, not fantasy. You learn to lead your life with purpose and clarity. Why is this so important now? Because the world is full of distractions. Social media, instant pleasure, and constant noise keep men from focusing on what matters. Many men waste their time chasing empty dreams or trying to be someone they are not. They forget to build their own strength, to sharpen their minds, and to find their true purpose. Schopenhauer's message cuts through all of that. It reminds men that power begins with knowledge. It reminds men that real freedom comes when you understand yourself and others deeply. It reminds men that living a life of purpose and truth is the only way to find lasting happiness. So if you feel lost today, if you feel confused by your relationships or your life, remember this: you are not alone. Many men have walked this path before you, and many have found the way out. The key is to open your eyes. Learn the truths about love, women, and human nature. Use this knowledge to protect your heart and your mind. Build your strength, your purpose, and your vision. When you do this, you become unstoppable. You become a man who is respected, loved, and free. You live on your own terms, not the terms others try to force on you. You create a life full of meaning and power. That is why Schopenhauer's words matter more than ever. Because in a world full of lies and confusion, truth is the greatest power you can have. Chapter 8. How to be a man of power in a world of illusion. So, now that you understand the dangers and illusions surrounding love, beauty, and relationships, the big question is, what can you do? How can you become a man of power in a world filled with confusion, manipulation, and false hopes? The answer lies in your mindset, your actions, and your commitment to yourself. Becoming a man of true power does not mean controlling others or forcing your will. It means leading your own life with strength, clarity, and purpose. It means protecting your mind and heart from illusions that weaken you. First, protect your mind. This is the foundation. Too many men chase beauty blindly, losing sight of what really matters. When you meet a woman who seems perfect on the outside, don't let her looks cloud your judgment. Ask yourself, is she good for my mission? Does she support my goals, my dreams, my growth? If the answer is no, it's better to walk away early. Beauty is temporary and often deceiving. But your mission, your purpose, must stay clear and strong. A woman who distracts you from your path is not the right woman for you. Protect your mind by choosing wisely. Don't let desire rule your decisions. Second, lead with strength. Strength is not just physical power. It is mental and emotional power too. It means you don't feel the need to explain every decision you make. You don't have to justify yourself to everyone. Be kind, but firm. Be respectful, but direct. When you act with confidence and clarity, others respect you more, even if they don't always agree. Weakness often shows when a man constantly explains or apologizes for his choices. Strength shows when he stands firm, knowing what is right for him. Remember, being a man of power means you set boundaries and you stick to them. Third, never beg. Love is a gift, not a bargain. No one owes you love, respect, or attention. If a woman doesn't respect you, if she doesn't appreciate your value, then she doesn't deserve you. Begging for love or trying to win it through pleading or changing yourself is a trap many men fall into, and it leads to pain and disappointment. Real respect and love come freely. When you demand them or chase them desperately, you lose your power. Keep your dignity. Know your worth. Walk away from those who do not see your value. Fourth, focus on your purpose. This is the key to lasting strength. Build your body. Take care of your health. Physical strength builds confidence and energy. Sharpen your mind. Learn new skills. Read books. Think deeply. Mental strength helps you make wise decisions and resist delusions. Create value. Whether through work, creativity, or helping others, creating value gives you meaning and respect. When you have a strong purpose, women will come and go, but your life will stay strong. Purpose is not something others can take from you. It is yours forever. When you live with purpose, you stop fearing loss. You don't fear losing a woman or a relationship because your value does not depend on them. You know, you are the prize. You are not here to serve others' emotions or expectations. You are here to build your own kingdom. And when you live like this, you attract the right people. People who respect your mission and support your growth. This path is not easy. It requires discipline and courage. You will face temptation and doubt. You will meet people who want to pull you back into illusions and comfort zones. But a man of power does not give in. He keeps moving forward, focused on his goals, standing tall through challenges. In a world full of illusions, where beauty is worshipped and feelings rule, being a man of power means seeing clearly. It means choosing strength over weakness, truth over lies, purpose over distractions. It means leading your life on your terms. Remember, power starts inside. Protect your mind. Lead with strength. Never beg. Focus on your purpose. When you do this, no illusion can hold you down. You become a man respected by others and proud of yourself. You live free, strong, and unstoppable. Final thoughts. The truth will set you free. Arthur Schopenhauer's ideas about women may feel dark or uncomfortable at first. They challenge many of the stories we have been told all our lives. But understand this: these ideas are not meant to hurt you or to make you angry at women. They are meant to wake you up. They are meant to open your eyes to a reality most men ignore or refuse to see. The truth can be difficult to hear, but it is the key to freedom. When you know the truth, you stop living in lies. You stop being controlled by illusions, and only then can you take back your power. The world around you will keep feeding you lies. It will tell you to give everything for love, even when love is not returned equally. It will tell you to worship beauty, to chase it without question, and to believe that beauty equals goodness or happiness. It will tell you to obey emotion, both yours and others, as if feelings are always right and must be followed at all costs. These lies keep men weak. They keep men lost. They keep men as slaves to their desires and to others' manipulation. But you are not here to be a slave. You are here to be a man of truth, a man who sees clearly, thinks deeply, and acts with strength. You don't have to fall for the illusions of the world. You don't have to worship beauty blindly. You don't have to obey emotion like a puppet on strings. Instead, you can understand these forces and use that understanding to protect yourself and to grow. Understanding women is a powerful step. When you see how women think, how they feel, and how they act, you gain power. Not power over them, but power over yourself. You stop being fooled by fantasies. You stop making excuses for pain. You stop losing yourself in relationships that drain you. Respect their power, yes, but protect your own. Know your value, hold your boundaries, and never give your strength away. Remember, this journey is not about blaming anyone. It's not about saying women are evil or that men are victims. Life is not that simple. Instead, it's about rising above the games and the confusion. It's about choosing to live with wisdom and clarity. It's about becoming a better man, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. So rise. Rise above the lies, the illusions, and the false promises. Stay sharp in your mind. Stay strong in your body. And rule your life with purpose and dignity. You have the power to shape your future, to create a life of meaning, and to become the man you were always meant to be. This is not easy. The truth will challenge you. It will make you question what you believed for years. It will test your courage and your commitment. But that is the path to freedom. When you walk it, you will never go back to the old way of living. You will see the world differently. You will see yourself differently. I encourage you to watch this message again. Listen to it deeply. Share it with others who need to hear it. Think about it carefully, because once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. That truth will guide you, protect you, and help you grow stronger every day. Thank you for being here, for being willing to learn, and for being ready to change. The journey of self-mastery is the most important journey you will ever take. Keep walking it. Keep growing. And remember, your strength comes from truth. English Achieve.